To tip or not to tip? That is the question. Last one. Those full water bottles are much harder to get out than they are to put in when they're empty. Anyway, I've just changed 4 crates of water, totaling 240 baht. I gave them 500 baht. The guy even brought out the trolley and wheeled them for me so I didn't have to carry them. I gave them 500 baht, they gave me the 260 baht change, and I left. I didn't tip. Is that a good or bad thing to do in Thailand? Let's find out, shall we? Oh, okay, welcome back everybody, and today I'm going to give you my tips on tips. That sounds a little bit confusing. My tip on tips, no, there's more than one. My tips on tipping in Thailand. Okay, that'll do. While I'm going to be talking about tipping, I'm actually driving around parts of Khon Kaen I've never been to again before, and I've just dropped in on this. Looks rather impressive, doesn't it? I don't quite know what it is. There's a coffee shop, but I don't know what's inside. Oh, I think it's a temple. So, first and foremost, is Thailand a tipping country? Absolutely, 100% no. Thailand is not a tipping country. You are not obliged to pay 1 baht, 1 satang, nothing if you don't so wish. However, I think with the low salaries of the average person who works in a restaurant, say, or whatever, it's very much appreciated. It's not like, I think it's Japan, is it, where it's actually, they find it quite offensive if you try and give a tip, I believe. And in America, it's kind of expected. I don't know if you are actually forced to. You tell me, I'm not totally up with that. And even in Britain now, it's getting to the point where there's a kind of a service charge on almost most things. When I went to London, it is like a service charge on almost everything in the world, you know. And Thailand actually is slowly but surely going that way. If you go to some of the bigger, nicer, posher restaurants, they'll already have a service charge, like 10% or something like that. Should you give a tip on top of that? Well, my answer to that is no. Not really. And my wife's belief is absolutely no, not at all. Don't give anything. Because you're already giving 10%, which actually I think is quite high. Shut up. I thought nature was meant to be peaceful. So, I'm going to go and get myself a coffee now, and let's see whether or not I should give a tip. I'm assuming that's the coffee shop, but I'm also pretty sure it doesn't look open. I think it looks rather closed. I'll take you around it anyway. Have a quick look. I was looking forward to a coffee then. I'll have to wait till I go home now. If you're only coming here for a holiday, then it doesn't matter. Just tip away. It's always appreciated and it'll go to a good cause. By that I mean it should hopefully go to those who serve you, i.e. the waiters, the waitresses, anyone who's helped you in any way. But what about people who come round to your house? They may install air conditioning, put up a TV, they may fix the aircon, they may, I don't know, the guy that delivers the gas, which we get from time to time. What about those guys? Do you tip them? Not tip them? It all is the same to me. If a guy comes round and he fixes the air conditioning for about half a day, no big thing for me to give him an extra 100 baht. It's not a big thing, is it really? When people are talking about tipping, they generally mean going to restaurants, bars, and possibly getting a taxi. But what about those people who service you all year round? What about the postmen, the bin men, people like that who offer service all year? What do you do with those guys? what I do is every year, come New Year, the English New Year if you like, or the Western New Year shall we say, I'll always buy myself a crate or a couple of crates of beer, and when they come round, give them a couple of bottles each. It's no big deal, it doesn't cost that much to do so, and they actually really appreciate you doing that. And I think by doing that, they offer a better service. I'm not saying you have to do it, you're not obliged to do it, Thais don't do it, but I think it's not about Thai people in general really, it's about me. It makes me feel good, and I like that, you know. It's nice giving back sometimes, isn't it? So if you're on holiday mode, yeah, just throw your money around, it doesn't matter really. You know, if you go into a restaurant, give the girl or the boy 100 baht, it's not going to kill you, is it? But it's when you come to live here. Now, if I gave 100 baht to every single person who offered me a service of any description, I'd be on the streets begging by now. There does come a point when you have to just reel it in a little bit. So if I go to a normal Thai restaurant and I'm just getting myself a grapao and this old lady there who's dishing up, and the dish is 50 baht, I've got a 60, I've got 3 20s, I'm not bothered about taking the 10 baht back. She can keep it. Likewise, if it's say 85 baht or 80 baht, yeah, I'll give her 100, keep the 20. I'm not bothered. That's what I kind of do. If I go to a bigger restaurant, yeah, that's, you know, more in your 500 baht range, like the last place we went to, I'll generally speaking give a 20 baht note and whatever the shrapnel is. The most I'll probably give is 39 baht, because it'd be 19 baht shrapnel and a 20 baht green one. At the same time, if I go to a restaurant and a young girl's there, a guy there, and you know they're putting in that little bit of extra service to help you and make it a better experience for you, then what I'll do is I'll still do the 20 plus the shrapnel in the little foldy thing they put the bill. I don't know what they call wallet, I don't know. But then I'll give them that, and then I'll put a 20 underneath, yeah, and say that's for you. Yeah, so you're actually giving them an extra tip for themselves, and the other guys still get the tip. I know someone that once gave a 400 baht tip. We went out for a meal, this is years ago, and it was in Bangkok, and we went to this restaurant and there was a young lady serving, and she was a nice girl, and he lived in Bangkok, and the bill was like 620 baht maybe. He gave her 1,000 baht and said keep the change. I remember Thailand's not a tipping country, and to be honest, I've been to the little restaurants, as I said, with the old grannies in the food, and you try and give them even 5 baht, they won't have it. It's like, no, you take it, you take it, you take it. So you've got to read the situation as well. So it's a bit of a grey area is tipping in Thailand, and I think ultimately it just comes down to you. If you want to tip 50 baht, if you want to tip 100 baht, do it, fine. If you can afford it and it's no problem for you, do it. It will be absolutely appreciated by whoever receives it. But at the same time, you don't have to tip. You don't have to give anything, not 1 baht if you so wish. Yeah, I know a guy, he used to coin a baht, he was from Holland, has nothing to do with Dutch people, on the Netherlands it's now, and he used to, if there were 3 baht change, he would still take it. I don't know, there's a line somewhere, isn't there? So there you go, that's my tips on tips. And because Thailand isn't a tipping country, you'll never see a Thai person hold out their hand in order to accept a tip. Oh. But that's not to say a tip won't be very much appreciated. I mean, a lot of the people who work in restaurants and bars and whatever are on a very fixed budget, maybe the students, maybe whatever, and any extra income will be massively helpful. Okay everybody, that will just about do for today. I hope you enjoyed my video on tipping in Thailand and whether you should or shouldn't do it. As I said, in my opinion, just give what you can afford. It doesn't hurt, does it? So that will do. I'm off on a bike ride now around Khon Kaen. See you in the next video guys, bye bye. Oh, it's not real. Never mind. Oh, I can't get up. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old to be doing stupid things now.